Hey yo, this is Guido with Watt Corner coming at you. I got a replay in my 34-100. We are on Lakeville with a fairly even setup as far as skill-wise on the teams. This one could go anyway. If you look at me, I am down as a Tier 7 in a Tier 9 battle, which means I am the bottom guy, the bottom feeder. What we're going to do with this video is talk to a little bit to the newer players, especially the people who believe that if you're bottom tier, there's nothing you can do. Now, this is not going to be an amazing game. I'm going to do some pretty decent damage for a tier 7 medium in this kind of setup. So it's not a super carry or an ace mastery, but I will play a critical role in making sure that we can win this battle. So my point is, if you're bottom tier, if you just say, I'll scout, usually what that means is the new player bottom tier says, I'm going to scout, he rages out and dies in the 10 seconds. First 10 seconds. The other thing they'll say often is, there's nothing I can do, I'll just sit at cap and basically do nothing. What I want to show you is one of the things you can do as a bottom tier medium in a situation like this is look at the battle, look at the flow, find out where you can add your gun, and then just try to stay alive and contribute. Also a little bit of how to make a TD heavy team work. You'll see that towards the back or towards the end of the video. And I already said it, but just live a little longer. So here we are, heading off. The first thing I'm going to do is go to this corner. This is pretty standard. One thing you'll see newer players, especially when they're bottom tier like this, is they'll just rage down that middle road, kind of like that Ryan Medall is doing over there, and die. So they'll say something like, hey, I'm going to scout. They'll rage out there and get killed. Well, keep your gun in the game. Keep yourself in the game. That's the only way you're going to get some more damage. Try to learn something. You can see that we've got the flow going with a bit of a, I wouldn't call it a push in the valley, but we've got two guys taking a look. Our scout's over there in the Centurion. I would have much rather had the scout work the middle a little bit very carefully, but that's not what we got. And we have some people making their way into town, which is pretty typical. Unfortunately, our T-54 is over on the valley side, but interestingly, you'll see during this battle that they actually invest quite a few people into their valley. So that then asks the question, how many do we commit into the valley? And as you can see, it's 1/3 to half the team hanging out in the valley. So I figure, you know what? The town is going to have trouble. I'm going to move in there and see what kind of help I can give them. But I'm not going to be crazy about it. You see that we're already a minute and a half into the battle, which means more than likely their faster tanks, especially the Conqueror, are probably going to be pretty far into town, and you can see that just happened. I'm going to shoot into the known scout bush twice, because during the game I didn't realize that their silly bulldog was already over in the valley, and that's just one of those things that if my cross-check was better, I would have already noticed that that bulldog was there. Now it's possible the T-20 or something else would get in there, but nobody was being shot. 2 wasted shots for me, and some time, more importantly some time. So I'm going to load up my heat, because I know I'm going to face some fairly significantly armored guys over here, and I'll just start trying to take shots. The problem with heat is concrete post will eat it, just like happened right there. You're going to see another problem with heat here in a moment, and I have to be careful where I'm aiming because I know there are some posts in there. Got this Super's kind of up on his side, he's tracked, and I'm able to get in there and take shots before he can shoot me, and then he dies. So we're stalling, right? We've got quite a scrum going on in the valley. That's good for us that they invested so much heavily in the valley. And now I am just trying to slow down this push into town. Got another Ryan Medall coming here. That should be easy pickings for me. There's a shot. Now you're going to see a situation where heat is going to not work out because I actually hit a highly angled part of his armor, or I hit his gun. Either way I bounce, and we're starting to lose. So I'm just looking for shots. Just one more shot, one more shot, one more shot. And I know I've got the TDs behind me, so I've got to move backwards to where they can support. If I stay on this corner, then whatever support I can get from the campers is not going to be there. And of course I take a hit. Just keep moving back, moving back. Lost a gunner, I'll fix that. And now he's already fired, so I'm going to take a quick shot and get back. He's going to have a little trouble here because I know he's got some bumps he's got to go over. I'm hoping to get a shot on his lower plate here before he can actually tag me. Here he comes. There you go. He's just charging. He's like, I got this guy. I got this guy. One more shot. Oh, I don't need the one more shot. I was a little bit concerned that the Rheinmetall would come around behind me there, so I was being a little bit careful. But you can see I just fighting retreat, moving back, conserve my HP, get shots of opportunity, and pull them back. Now my team has pushed through the valley, and they defeated the quick push that the enemy had coming up the middle. And I've got an M445, which what looks like the stock gun. And at this point, it's just clean up on aisle 2 because we've more or less got it won. So I'm just looking for the damage I can get up to 1600 now. And I think this guy dies. Okay. So 1600 damage. I got into town after kind of assessing the situation. I took my bottom tier tank to the critical part of the battle, and then I just delayed until the TDs sucked a few of the tanks back to where the TDs could hit them, and we end up winning. So there you have it. You got a tier 7 bottom tier medium tank that makes a fairly critical contribution to the battle. Although I wasn't topping anything right there, I made it happen. So just remember, if you're bottom tier, that doesn't mean you can't do anything.